Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Play The Witness. Dude Long Couch here. Alright, so when we were at this place last time, I left a text note in the video that as I was editing, I noticed that there's actually a hallway back here, and I wanted to come down and see what this was all about, and it looks like it's actually barred off. There's definitely something back there. At first I just kind of thought it was like a reflection of like this hallway back here. That definitely does not seem to be the case though, but it's barred from the other side, so I'm not sure how we get there, or what it's all about. Maybe there's another entrance, maybe it's something with the end game, I don't know. I've definitely seen like other underground areas before. There are secret places in this game that I have not discovered yet, but it's intriguing. One thing I did notice when I was getting set up to record though, is that there seems to be a very simple environmental puzzle down here. So at least that's done. And that's just a reflection there. So yeah, that's where we're at, guys. We've got a fair number of things to do before we head for the end game. I'm still somewhat slightly confused on the nature of all the different endings. I get a lot of conflicting reports. Different comments say different things. I still don't even know for sure if it deletes your save file after you do the first ending. Like, most people say no, but there's a handful of people that say yes. I don't know if it's maybe it's like a glitch or a bug that they haven't really solved yet. It's very weird. So, yeah, I'm just gonna try and probably do as much as I can before we head for the end game. I only have 2 lasers left, and I think one of them is actually already solved. When I think about it, the bamboo area with the bird songs and everything, I think I actually already finished that area, I just didn't find the laser. So we just gotta go back and figure out what that's about. I also remembered that this puzzle was down here. I'm gonna assume that this is housing a Windmill movie. I don't know for sure, but we need to figure this out. The thing with this one is that... we've got 4 blue blocks, so you would imagine that it would cancel out this guy right here. And then this guy we could make either way we wanted. This is either going to be a really simple solution or a really fucked up solution. I can't figure it out yet. What happens if we just snake our way? No, that already doesn't work. We would have to cut it off right there. But then we still haven't collected all these. Some way we have to... Maybe if we come back here and then start... Oh, man. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Ooh, that one was tricky. The biggest thing there was that I had to remember that if you're using the blue blocks to cancel out the yellow blocks, they all have to be enclosed in the same area. Took me a solid 10 minutes on that one. That was a little tricky. Okay, where's my reward, damn it? Yeah. Alright. This is definitely going to be another Windmill movie. Let me go ahead and snap a picture of this, guys. We will go watch this movie at the end of this video, I think. Sometime in this video. Wow, that's actually coming out really blurry on my phone. I should probably get like an actual pen and paper for this shit. I don't know why this looks so blurry. Alright, whatever, that'll work. Okay. Where to now? I really wanted to go check out the other panel puzzles on this coast. because I know that... I don't know that they actually correspond to a laser. I actually don't think that they do. But they do something. It could lead to another Windmill puzzle. Or a Windmill movie, rather. I also know that there was probably another one on the ship. I want to make sure that I go grab that at some point. That puzzle is probably going to take, like, fucking forever. So I might actually end up doing that in between videos, and then just, like, come back when I have the solution, you know what I mean? That's weird. Something, like, glowing over there. It kind of looks like a recorder, but I can't really tell from here, and I can't click on it. Huh. Alright. Maybe we can come at that from another direction. So these other reflection, or not reflection, these, like, transparent puzzle panels, they were... I can't remember how I got to them. It's been a long time. Also, guys, sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. I am a little sick right now. Wouldn't you know it, I got to my weekend off finally after a really, really, really long work week. And I'm not making this up, I swear to you. As soon as I walked in my front door, it like washed over me like this fever type of feeling. It just hit me and washed right over me, and I was like, I'm getting sick. Are you kidding me? Like, as soon as I walked in the door, you can't make that up. Well, you could, but you'd be a weirdo. Okay, here we go. I solved the ones up there, like, way back at the start of this Let's Play. I don't even remember, like, what that was all about. Hey, would you be a puzzle? Okay, it's definitely one. Just gotta get it lined up right, I guess. Ah, don't snap to that, you bastard. Why are you like this? Ah, here we go. Okay, and then there's probably the same thing up top, right? But I have to stand somewhere specific to get it lined up. That's not gonna work. I have to get to even higher ground? Oh, it's real close. I just want to do this so I don't forget about it. I see it right now. There we go. Sweet. Where's that going, by the way? I still want to definitely complete one of those obelisks before we do the end game, too. I have no idea if that's going to matter or not. But, yeah. At least one of them should be done, I think. Also, I'm not even sure where to find that area that I was looking at from the other side. Ah, there it is. It's like some bushes or like some really bright shrubbery. Just hanging out there underneath the cliff. It's weird. Well, it's a reflection from that stuff up top, I guess. Okay. I'm at a point where, like, everything is sticking out to me. I haven't had anything specific spoiled for me, but I have heard a lot of people say that there's, like, even this far into the game, there are still surprises waiting for us. There are things about this game that have not become abundantly clear yet, and there's going to be more things we have to figure out. So, I don't know. It sounds awesome. Okay. So this... I know that you have to figure out, like, things behind it and line it up the right way. This is just going to be... We probably use all 4 of these, right? Figure out... Like that? Trace the maze. Probably stick to the top of the rocks and trace it. Okay. Also, before I forget, I've been wanting to do a progress check-in. I just kept forgetting. But I just thought about it, so... Let's see where we're at. 362 panels solved plus 27. So we've done 27 environmental puzzles. No idea what the total number is on those. That's probably a very small percentage overall. Okay. So, at first glance, you would assume... You don't even really have to take the time to line these up, do you? Because it does it for you when you snap to it, I guess. Although this one doesn't seem to work exactly right. Is it like this? Okay. I guess you have to use the reflection from the bottom as your guide for the top. In which case it would go the whole way up and then come back down. Like that. Right. Okay, that goes over there. Ah. Got stuck. Okay, well this one's different. Snapping to it does not show me anything useful. Is it gonna use these? Can't really see anything useful. Maybe just like that? Let's try it. Okay. Okay, simple enough. Uh-huh. So... this one is... okay, assuming it uses the horizon line as the center of the puzzle, this one is, I think, the same concept, it's just skewed perspective-wise. So I think it would go like that. No. Is it like that? Okay. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. These are doable. Probably stuff I should have done a while back. Okay, and then this one. We're probably gonna line it up with the rocks like this. That is tricky. Sometimes with like the last puzzle in a set, they really just kind of like throw all the previous shit out the window and give you like an entirely new rule to work with. I don't know if that's what's going on here. It doesn't really look like anything helpful. It kind of looks like it just goes straight over and then up. I figured that'd be too simple, though. Maybe it goes up one, and then up like that. Yeah. I mean, even when you tilt your perspective like this, it doesn't really... you can't get them all enclosed in the image. Well, I'm somewhat at a loss here. I noticed they're tinted different colors. I wonder if that is significant for any reason. The two up front are darker, the three in the back are a little lighter. I guess that's just from like the way the shadows are cast. Huh. You crafty bastards. It wasn't the rocks they wanted on this one. You had to come around back and use these, palm trees. Well, I knew it would be something different. Alright. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Now the question is, why the hell did I do all this? Because I can't see anything that this affected. It doesn't even have, like, another line going anywhere. I guess it's just for completion purposes? Oh god, I don't know. I don't know anything with this game. Okay, well, at least that's done. I know it's done. And maybe it'll come back into play at some point. Maybe it won't. What we're going to do now, guys, is head back to the windmill. I'm going to put in that symbol, and we'll see what is waiting for us. So, guys, I was just looking around on my way to the windmill, and I chanced upon this. Sticks out pretty clearly to me. Or not. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way that's not a puzzle. There's just no way. Okay. Halfway there. Go back a little more. It's so weird. You had to be sitting on it just right. Did that go to this obelisk right here? Let's go take a look at this real quick. Okay. Wow, there's still at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Looks like there's 10 of the really faint lines, and then these 3 over here glow a little brighter for some reason. That's weird. I never really picked up on that before. I think some of them, pretty much all of the lines glowed brighter. The ones that are colored in, like, indicate that they're already solved, right? So what are these ones kind of like in the middle? What does that mean? That's definitely significant. There's no way it's not. But I don't really know why. Okay, just wanted to show you guys that. To the windmill! Alright guys, so we're underneath the windmill, just outside the theater area. And I couldn't help but notice that this blocked off door here looks a lot like the area underneath the elevator in the desert area. It's like it's designed almost exactly the same way. These have to lead to some sort of like hub area back there. Maybe it's the final area of the game. Maybe we're gonna like actually descend into the mountain. But it looks like once we get there, we'll actually be able to like unlock these doors and I guess like quote unquote fast travel to any part. I don't know. It's very, very weird. It also occurred to me that there are puzzles back here which I never solved. I don't know where these lead to, but I might actually be able to tackle these now. In fact, I should be able to. It's just going to be a matter of sitting down and doing it. I'm not going to do it right now. I would rather watch this movie. And then maybe I'll do those like in between videos and just show you the solution or whatever. So we've got 1, 3, and 6 so far. Who knows which this one's going to be? I don't know. Let me reference my handy cell phone picture.
And so, by a backhanded, upside-down argument, was predicted that there is in carbon a level at 7.82 million volts, and then experiments in the laboratory with carbon show indeed that there is. And therefore, the existence in the world of all these other elements is very closely related to the fact that there is this particular level in carbon. But the position of this particular level in carbon seems to us, after knowing the physical laws, to be a very complicated accident of 12 complicated particles interacting. So I wish to illustrate by this example that an understanding of the physical laws doesn't give you an understanding in a sense of understanding significance of the world in any way. The details of real experience are very far often from the fundamental laws. There are, in a way of speaking in the world, we have a way of discussing the world which you could call, we discuss it at various hierarchies or levels. Now, I don't mean to be very precise, there's a level, there's another level, and another level, but I will indicate by describing a set of ideas to you, just one after the other, what I mean by hierarchies of ideas. For example, at one end, we have the fundamental laws of physics. Then we invent other terms for concepts which are approximate, who have, we believe, the ultimate explanation in terms of the fundamental laws. For instance, heat. Heat is supposed to be the jiggling, and it's just a word for a hot thing is just a word for a mass of atoms which are jiggling. For that, fundamentally, we should think of the atoms jiggling. But for a while, if we're talking about heat, we sometimes forget about the atoms jiggling. Just like when we talk about the glacier, we don't always think of the hexagonal ice snowflakes which originally fell. Another example of the same thing is a salt crystal. Looked at fundamentally, it's a lot of protons, neutrons, and electrons. But we have this concept, salt crystal, which carries a whole pattern already of fundamental interactions, or idea like pressure. Now, if we go higher up from this, in another level, we have properties of substances like refractive index, how light is bent when it goes through something, or surface tension, the fact that the water tends to pull itself together, is described by a number. I remind you that we have to go through several laws down to find out that it's the pull of the atoms and so on. But we still say surface tension, and don't worry when we're discussing surface tension of the inner workings, always. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Go on, up in the hierarchy. With the water, we have the waves, and we have a thing like a storm. We have a word for storm, which represents an enormous mass of phenomena. Or sunspot, or star, which is an accumulation of things. And it's not worthwhile always to think of it way back. In fact, we can't, because the higher up we go, we have too many steps in between, each one of which is a little weak, and we haven't thought them all through yet. If we go up in this hierarchy of complexity, we get to things like frog, or nerve impulse, which you see is an enormously complicated thing in the physical world, involving an organization of matter in a very elaborate complexity. And then we go on, we come to things, words, and concepts like man, and history, or political expediency, and so forth, which is a series of concepts that we use to understand things at an ever higher level. And going on, we come to things like evil, and beauty, and hope. Now, which end is nearer to the ultimate creator, or the ultimate? So if I make a religious metaphor, which end is nearer to God? Beauty and hope, or the fundamental laws? I think that the right way, of course, is to say that the whole structural interconnections of the thing is the thing that we have to look at, and that the sequence of hierarchy, that all the sciences and all the efforts, not just the sciences, but all the efforts of intellectual kind, are to see the connections of the hierarchies is to connect beauty to history, is to connect history to man's psychology, the man's psychology to the working of the brain to the neural impulse to the chemistry, and so forth, up and down, both ways. And today we cannot, and there's no use making believe we can, draw carefully a line all the way from one end of this thing to the other. In fact, we've just begun to see that there is this relative hierarchy. And so I don't think either end is nearer to God's. And to stand at either end and to walk out off the end of the pier only, hoping out in that direction is the complete understanding, is a mistake. And to stand with evil and beauty and hope, or to stand with the fundamental laws, hoping that way to get a deep understanding of the whole world, with that aspect alone, is a mistake. And it is not sensible either for the ones who specialize at one end and the ones who specialize at the other end to have such disregard for each other. They don't actually, but the people say they do. But that actually the great mass of workers in between, connecting one step to another, are improving all the time our understanding of the world, both from working at the ends and working in the middle. And in that way, we are gradually understanding this connection, this tremendous world of interconnecting hierarchies.
If you expected science to give all the answers to the wonderful questions about what we are, where we're going, what the meaning of the universe is, and so on, then I think you could easily become disillusioned and then look for some mystic answer to these problems. How a scientist can take a mystic answer, I don't know, because the whole spirit is to understand. Well, never mind that. I don't understand that. But anyhow, if you think of it, the way I think of what we're doing is we're exploring. We're trying to find out as much as we can about the world. People say to me, are you looking for the ultimate laws of physics? No, I'm not. I'm just looking to find out more about the world. And if it turns out there is a simple ultimate law that explains everything, so be it. That would be very nice to discover. If it turns out it's like an onion with millions of layers and we're just sick and tired of looking at the layers, then that's the way it is. But whatever way it comes out, its nature is there and she's going to come out the way she is. And therefore, when we go to investigate it, we shouldn't pre-decide what it is we're trying to do except to find out more about it. If you say, but your problem is, why do you find out more about it? If you thought that you were trying to find out more about it because you're going to get an answer to some deep philosophical question, you may be wrong. It may be that you can't get an answer to that particular question by finding out more about the character of nature. But I don't look at it. My interest in science is to simply find out about the world. And the more I find out, the better it is. I like to find out. There are very remarkable mysteries about the fact that we're able to do so many more things than apparently animals can do, and other questions like that. But those are mysteries I want to investigate without knowing the answer to them. And so altogether, I can't believe the special stories that have been made up about our relationship to the universe at large, because they seem to be too simple, too connected, too local, too provincial. The earth, he came to the earth. One of the aspects of God came to the earth, mind you. And look at what's out there. How can it isn't in proportion. Anyway, it's no use arguing. I can't argue it. I'm just trying to tell you why the scientific views that I have do have some effect on my beliefs. It also, another thing, has to do with the question of how do you find out if something's true? And if you have all these theories of the different religions, have all different theories about the thing, then you begin to wonder. Once you start doubting, just like you're supposed to doubt, you ask me, is the science true? We say, no, we don't know what's true. We're trying to find out. Everything is possibly wrong. Start out understanding religion by saying everything is possibly wrong. Let us see. As soon as you do that, you start sliding down an edge, which is hard to recover from. And so with the scientific view, or my father's view, that we should look to see what's true and what may not be true, once you start doubting, which I think to me is a very fundamental part of my soul, is to doubt and to ask. And when you doubt and ask, it gets a little harder to believe. You see, one thing is I can live with doubt and uncertainty and not knowing. I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong. I have approximate answers and possible beliefs and different degrees of certainty about different things, but I'm not absolutely sure of anything. And then many things I don't know anything about, such as whether it means anything to ask, why we're here, and what the question might mean. I might think about it a little bit. If I can't figure it out, then I go to something else. But I don't have to know an answer. I don't feel frightened by not knowing things, by being lost in the mysterious universe without having any purpose, which is the way it really is, as far as I can tell, possibly. It doesn't frighten me.
Huh. Well, that was pretty long, but I'll tell you what, I like that a lot more than the last movie that we got. I tend to agree with a lot of what that guy was saying. By the way, I think that was the same guy from just 50 years later. Like a lecture he gave a long time ago, and something more recent. I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely tend to take a scientific view of the world, and I think it's important when you're doing science to not start out trying to prove your conclusion, like going into it with like an agenda. I think that that's a mistake. I think it's more about making a hypothesis based on the logic of facts that you've already observed and not something that you want to be true, which I guess should be pretty obvious to most people, but it's definitely the kind of thing that I think there's a lot of that these days. And also what he was saying about the structure of things, like the macro and the micro structure, I could be reading a little too much into that, but I think that's going to come into play at large with this game. I mean, I can't help but notice that you have your individual puzzle panels like these things right here, and then on top of that, you have the environmental puzzles, which, you might find out about those pretty quickly, or it might take you a really long time to figure out that they're there. And that's kind of like the next hierarchy of the puzzle structure in this game, and it just makes me wonder if there's going to be something even bigger than that I haven't picked up on yet. It's just something about the island in general. Maybe something endgame, maybe something I could have been doing all along. I don't know, I have to believe that was important for some reason. Also, it appears that there's actually a walkway up there and a door or something. I never really noticed that before. So that's interesting. This place continues to be interesting. And now I really want to know what's behind these doors. So, okay. This is going to be interesting. Still kind of not super duper clear on the triads when it comes to colors. So we've got white dots, black dots, and white triads. Does that mean that it has to be paired with a white dot? Or just one off-colored dot? Or two off-colored dots? Wait. That's... If we could separate one more white dot like that. Yeah, so guys, I've been puzzling over both of these for quite a while now. They're actually pretty difficult. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this recording and probably keep working on these off camera. Hopefully I will have some solutions when we come back. Right now I'm just wasting hard drive space. This was cool though, good progress here, and we'll keep going when we come back, just doing all this wrap-up stuff, trying to get as much done as we can, and heading towards that end game. Oh god, it's going to murder my soul, isn't it? Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Dude Long Couch. I'll catch you in the next part. See ya.